Welcome, everyone. I'm Honesty Johnson Zahnd, and I'll be your lay leader today. We are the Juneau Unitarian Universalist Fellowship. No matter your age, no matter your strength, no matter your beliefs or lack of beliefs, no matter who you love or who you live with, congregation founders and first-time visitors, we welcome you here to this community. The mission of the Juneau Unitarian Universalist Fellowship is to be a spiritual home for all people who are engaged in a search for truth and meaning. We are glad you are here. The opening words today are by, make sure I'm pronouncing this right, Elena Westbrook. In a world ravaged by violence, by hatred, by conflicts that seem eternal and insoluble, sometimes the only thing we can do is be still for a moment to remind ourselves what is real. The sun that rose this morning, the dirt under our feet, the air whispering in and out of our lungs. This hour, try just to be present in each moment as it unfolds. Your simple attention is what makes these moments holy. Oops, got ahead of myself there, because now, does anyone have announcements for the good of the fellowship? Now, in this collective Zoom, we are ready to hear the message from our cherished guest, student Rabbi Jennifer Moses. Jennifer, you can begin.
Good morning, everyone. It's exciting to see that there's snow coming down in Juneau. I hope it's pretty. And I want to wish you all a very happy Thanksgiving and hope that you were able to spend time with family or friends or just have a breather. I'm really happy to be with you today. Last week, I was sitting at the table outside my house on a sunny, warm Los Angeles November day. We don't get snow. Contemplating this month's Unitarian Universalist theme of presence. As luck would have it, my husband Ron, seated across the table from me, was engrossed in a Zoom class on this very same topic. The class he was in that day was about being present. Intrigued, I asked him to tell me more. According to Ron's teacher, being present meant living in the moment. It means unifying body and mind in the here and now. It means smelling the grass, feeling the wind on your skin, listening attentively to the person you are with. It also means shutting out the past and the future. The past, according to this teaching, is a source of depression and remorse. The future is a source of anxiety. Only in the present moment do we have control. I know how and why these ideas resonated with my husband. They resonate with me too. No one likes to feel disconnected from nature or our bodies. We all regret not enjoying time with our children or friends because we are worried about something we did yesterday or something that's due tomorrow. It's not, however, the Jewish conception of presence. Jewish presence requires unity of body, mind, and spirit, but it also asks so much more of us. Jewish presence connects past, present, and future. It asks us to be ready to serve both others and God. There are rituals in Judaism that would feel familiar to my husband, who practices yoga and meditation to achieve being present. The Hasidic Jews of the 17th century, who revolted against the sterile, legalistic Jewish practice of the time, created a ritual called hitbodedut. In hitbodedut, a Jew goes out alone in nature so that she can talk to God. Prayer itself can be viewed as a form of meditation, where we put aside our everyday concerns to focus with every ounce of our being on God. As interesting and rewarding as these ideas are, however, they don't capture fully the essence of presence in Judaism. What does it mean to be present in our sacred texts? In some of the most dramatic stories in the Torah, we find God asking one of our great prophets or ancestors, "Where are you?" Whether it is Abraham or Moses or Esther, the answer is Hineni. Hineni literally means "here I am" or "I am present." It conveys presence as a form of readiness. In the story of the binding of Isaac, God calls to Abraham in Genesis 23, "Vayehi echad hagarim ha'ela, v'ha'Elohim misa et Avraham, vayomer elav, Avraham vayomer hineni." And it came to pass after these things that God tested Abraham. And God said to him, "Abraham." And he said, "Here I am." God is testing Abraham, and Abraham is answering, "I am here and I am ready." Likewise, when God calls to Moses from the burning bush in Exodus chapter 31, verse 5, Moses responds, "Vayer Adonai kisar lir'ot, v'yikra elav Elohim, mimoch hasana, vayomer Moshe, Moshe, vayomer hineni." And when Adonai saw that he turned aside to see, God called to him out of the midst of the bush and said, "Moses, Moses." And he said, "Here I am." This is the beginning of Moses being called by God to lead the Israelites out of Egypt. We know that Moses resisted the call many times, but in this mystical encounter, when Moses hears God's voice for the very first time, Moses does not shrink in fear, but answers, "God, I am here. I am ready." And Queen Esther reluctantly hears her uncle Mordecai and agrees to risk her life to beg King Ahasuerus to spare her people. Kain ubechein avosh el hamelech asher lo kidot v'ka'asher avadati. Go, assemble all the Jews who live in Shushan and fast in my behalf. Do not eat or drink for 3 days, night or day. I and my maidens will observe the same fast. Then I shall go to the king, though it is contrary to the law. And if I perish, I shall perish. Presence for these leaders of the Jewish people is not only about being in the moment. It is heroic. It's an understanding that being present isn't just a unity of body and mind. It's having a purpose and a willingness to serve. Just being present isn't sufficient. This is not to say that Abraham or Moses or Esther weren't present in the be here now mode. We can imagine how it would have felt to have these encounters with the divine. Surely our ancestors felt fear when they heard the voice of God. Did they sweat or quake or feel sick to their stomachs? Were their hands clammy? When they were able to collect themselves to hear the message, to see or feel the messenger, and to say, "Hineni," did they feel the wave of endorphins wash over them? Did their hearts race? Surely an encounter with the divine, responding to the call, must be the most present one can be as a human being. Now, we are not Abraham or Moses or Esther. This level of commitment is beyond most of us. Yet we all have had moments of hearing the call and of understanding that we are on this earth not only to get through the day and the years, but to be of service. Many Jews interpret this call as tikkun olam, a commandment to repair the world. Each of us has a unique set of passions and skills we can use to make the world a better place, whether it is to protect the environment or house the homeless, to feed the hungry, or to try and help those seeking justice. We know when we are attuned to our divine purpose, and that is the truest kind of presence we can have. The JUUF state of presence does not exclude the past or the future. Jewish prayer harkens back to our ancestors as the reason for God to treat us fairly. On Yom Kippur, we ask our ancestors to intercede on our behalf with God. And every day we ask God to remember our ancestors and what they did for God as a reason to favor us. The past is honorable. The past should be studied and remembered. Our ancestors heeded the call, and even if we have no merit, God should answer our petitionary prayers because our ancestors did what God asked. The past is a fount of wisdom and joy, not only of remorse. Likewise, the future isn't only a place of anxiety. The future is where, if we do God's bidding, we will build a messianic world of peace and justice and happiness. Our Israelite ancestors and our Jewish forebears in the Middle Ages and even in the Nazi death camps looked ahead to better days. Being present means acknowledging and respecting and understanding the past. And it also means believing in and contributing to an ideal future for the entire world. I do not wish to dissuade my husband or anyone from the deep and meaningful practices that help us bring our thoughts, emotions, and physical sensations into coherence. We all know when we are not in sync within ourselves, and we're not very useful to others in that condition. But being present is only part of the job. We must be able to hear the call, to link be here now with repair the world. May we all stand on the shoulders of our ancestors so that we may build a better tomorrow with our hearts and our souls and our heads and our bodies all reaching as one for the future. Thank you.
Now is the time to send the flame. And the reading for this is by Amy Zucker Morgenstern. Never has it been more true than now. We extinguish this flame, but the sparks within us remain alight. From each of us, in our supposed solitude, the signals buzz and hum, sparkling through space one to another, connecting us invisibly but palpably. We are one, and from every window, our light shines. As we bring this service to an end, please link your whole souls and hearts, not your hands since we're online, and sing to yourself and those in the room with you, "From you I receive." Or if you want to sing onto the Zoom call, it'll probably sound bad, but I think that's fine. No one's in person, so do what feels right to you. From you I receive, to you I give. Together we share, and from this we live. From you I receive, to you I give. Together we share, and from this we live.